Back again, and in this tutorial we will uh, we will uh, we will make a button here that tap to click, and let's make a button. So first thing first, let's make a button. It can be either of TextMesh Pro or it can use a legacy button system. TextMesh Pro have an additional file that will make the size 1 MB heavier, which is a text file. But since this is a tutorial, we can use this button, but on size reduction competitions, or such as 13 KB game, 13 kilobytes of game is allowed, and that the kind of competitions where the game size is important, I would suggest that we use legacy button. So for legacy button, you would simply go here, and for this tutorial, let's show you how it's done. So this is your legacy button here, and if you want to make a button that is using TextMesh Pro, again TextMesh Pro means better details but more in size. We can use either, and for this tutorial let's use legacy button, I guess, but I will show you how each button is. This is button with TextMesh component, which is this component. It will make a sprite which is of 1 MB size, 1 megabytes, and hence it's a little more in size as compared to the other legacy, in which there is no size issues, just a simple text component that is using no size, that is using just the sprite, which is of 15 KB or even less. So you can use either. Here quality is definitely better in TextMesh Pro. For example, I will show you quality of TextMesh Pro in terms of visualization. So this is the quality of TextMesh Pro. While if I press, or instead of quality, let's tap to run, and here we will press the same, tap to run. So this is how tap to run is. It is a bit better than than this legacy. So what we will do is we need to think that how these two buttons will be. For me, I think our game might be on both on mobile and web as well at the same time. So we want to make our game platform independent, but if you want to make your game on specific device, then you can do your own setting. I will be making it mobile, and I will be making it platform independent. So no matter what resolution is, it will be centered here, and these will be always be visible. So to adjust this, we will first go to our canvas. Here it is screen space overlay, and it is just fine. Here we can choose instead of constant pixel size, we will choose scale with screen size, and by default the resolution that you want it for. So since I am not sure which resolution I want it for, and I want to scale it along the, again these are some high level concepts, and if you are not if you don't want to think about them, and then this is totally fine. You can simply just create a button and forget, and it will be run here. But for the next high level concepts, these buttons would start to pan out in different, if the game is in different resolution, I will show you. So this does show up correctly, tap to run button, but this button here doesn't show up right. If you see, this is the legacy, this is the button that is showing up, and this is the button that is not showing up. So to address this, what we gotta do is press 0 0 here as well, and when we uncheck, it will be like this. And if we say, let's say right now if it's centered here along the middle, and you can make it so it's center in the upper side like this. So what it means is that if you if your game is of different resolution, it will scale according to the setting you want. So right now we want the text to be written in the middle. For middle, you have to choose this one. So the text scale worked fine for the middle scenario. For the text to be panned out, to be written here, you will, as a challenge, you can take this text and place it here, and that is by moving along. That is by moving this one, tap to run here, and taking it up like this. And right now, no matter what resolution I give of this view, the text would be adjusted according to the top margin side. So this is how it will be. Again, it's panning out. Since I missed this setting, that is scale from the upper side. So now when I scale it to the upper side, it scales according to the top, and this text will never be missing. So right now we want to stick with this, tap to run. Here the text is written in a bit strange way and in a blurry way. This is how legacy is. And what we can do about is that we can choose best fit, and this won't improve the TextMesh Pro like quality. So what can we do? We can use this tab to run here if you want to use TextMesh Pro. Again, there are some settings that might improve this tab to run a bit better to make it less blurry, but that is a debate in itself. That is a long uh, something long to address by Unity itself. And such as this looks a bit better, but let's uncheck this so we don't use it, and we use this one, and let's put it at the top like this, tap to run. And whenever this button is pressed, we will start the animation. And to do this, we will press plus button here. It's the text mesh component, and here in button you can simply press on click, and on click you can make a function. And since it was tutorial play animation on key, we can either use this or we can use this tutorial player movement component. But for the tutorial sake, we will use this void. Void by default is private, so it might not show up. So we'll use public on games on tap to start pressed, tap to start clicked. And here in this method, public void, it's returning nothing. Oops. So we press here and we write hello. So whenever tap to start clicked is pressed, hello will be visible in the console. So Let's open console, move this game back to here, and right now as you can see it doesn't scale properly as it should have. So what we missed was that we didn't scale it well. So we will go back to button and adjust the position right back, so it's like that's what example put it here. And then what we will do is adjust this so it adjusts according to the width or height. It's pretty staying, but when I that okay, so it was running fine, I suppose. So we will play it again. The issue was so the issue was that it doesn't call the resize when I move this game pane from here to here. It is a bug of Unity editor itself, and they need to solve it. But it's not really a bug. It's something that we need to click to for the screen size to be updated. So this is how it should have resized, and it does resize perfectly. And now when I press tab to run, it should run this function, tab to start click. And for this, what we need to do is head back to inspector here again, and this is our image inside runtime only. We can choose that to edit runtime or runtime only as well, is fine as well. Again, this is the editor and runtime is production view. So we choose the script where we had this tutorial player on movement enabled, and we will lock this so this view doesn't move. Then we got to add another inspector tab, and inside runner, so here we will drag and drop this runner, and here the script was tutorial player movement, and then it was tab to start click, and this is our tab to start click. So whenever the click will be called on this function, you will see this hello shows written up in the console. So when we press tab to run, hello came up written here. Now we click again just to show you, and hello will show up here again. Now the next thing is to start the player animation and the player movement script. So right now what was happening was that inside W we were telling it to start, and now we will do it here. So on tutorial player animation, on key down start running, this will start the character movement in the forward direction, and let's see how it works. This will start. So whenever I press this, I unplayed the game again. I will play it again. But this is a misclick. I will fix again. 1 second. So let's play it again. Tab to run. Even though I pressed, but it didn't move the start running component. It didn't move the animation. So we will check it out that why it happened like this. It's because we didn't save the script. So we will save the script, Again, these are pretty basic things that usually we keep on forgetting. So it's best to check that if your script is saved or not, and if it is saved, you simply play it again. So now we pressed tab to run, and our character showed signs of movement, and as you can see, it is moving and moving, and it is going on the left and right direction too, and here it will keep on moving till the end of time. So this is how it should be. Now the next thing would be to remove this tab to run button whenever our player has stopped moving. Oh, sorry. When this thing is called, then it should stop. It shouldn't be visible. And to address this, there are a couple of methods. And for the tutorial's sake, we can here game object geo button, let's say name button game object, and inside button we will turn it off like this, and next thing would be to pass it like it should. This is a parameter, and inside parameter you can pass certain things. And now when we head over to our button, this is our button, and again we will press this again since it's missing some things, so we will press it again, and now we choose the script again, tutorial player animation on key down, and it was tab to start click. This one tab to start click, and inside and when passing it asks for a game object, and to give it a game object we will simply need to paste the button. This was the button name, and now we can simply rename it to tab to click, and now when we play, again we need to save the script, which we did this time thankfully. So now when we press, our button is turned off and our animation starts to play, and our character goes from right side to left side, and this is what we wanted. And now we will refine our code further, that is by commenting this thing that we don't want. And the movement direction is fine, I suppose, for now. So we can forget it for a while. And next thing would be to increase, let's create another game object. Inside floor we can create empty, and then we will make left side wall, right side wall its child object, even the floor will go inside this game object, or this will come out like this, and then the floor will come inside it. And inside game object we will rename it to name level static or immovable. So here we put level static immovable, and inside there is level data, that is floor, left side wall, right side wall. And if we want to increase the size, I will further put it again in another thingy. Just create an empty here. I will make the name as the level 1, and or simply level. And now what we will do is inside here we will create a new folder named prefabs. Inside prefab we will put this here level thingy. This is how it looks, and we will simply scale this. So how can we scale this? Is simple. This like this. This is our level. Here we will press E tab. Sorry, not E. E is for rotation. R is for scaling. For scaling, we will press this blue bar, so it will make this a little more in size. And now when you see, the running area has increased in size. And now if you play the game, as you can see, this is how it moves. Left side, right side, and it keeps on moving. Now if you see what we want to do, we will simply add a banners here that will show +10 or -10, and inside we will place the further logic that segments the code. So if our object has passed through +10, +10 of these players will be of these. So first we will create a prefab of this player, but first before doing this, let's make a bar of +10. I will show you what we will make. So here it will be +10 like this, and here it will be -10, let us say like this. And this is what we will start from the next tutorial. So thanks for watching.